We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It is a gorgeous night in Kansas City tonight and a perfect night for Tigers baseball. Tigers fans filing into Kauffman Stadium where this evening it is the third and final game featuring the Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. Glad you're with us here for the final game in this series. The Tigers road trip got off to a rocky start, Rod. Really, honestly, the Royals have outplayed the Tigers in the first two games of this series. Tigers got to start matching their energy.
Well, they've outplayed them in every facet of the game. You talk about pitching. That was a couple of nights ago when Johnny Cueto went after the Tigers. 9 innings in that particular game. They did not score a run against him. And then you talk about their defense in last night's game. They changed the entire game with their intensity on the defensive end yesterday. The Royals have showed you why they are one of the best teams in all of baseball.
All right, Daniel Norris will take a shot at the Royals tonight. He's made 2 starts as a Tiger. The first one in Baltimore was really good. Hopefully more of that tonight.
Well, his first start was outstanding. His second start, he fell behind way too many of the Boston Red Sox hitters, and they made him pay. But let's flash back to the very positive start. He was changing some eye levels with his fastball, up in the strike zone, good changeups down, threw a few breaking balls in that particular game, didn't throw as many cutters. The cutter has not been a good pitch for Daniel since he's been in the big leagues, but that riding fastball has been, and he can really field his position as well. This guy's a pretty good athlete looking to go out and pitch a really good game today, and he must do so because this Kansas City Royals team is simply on fire. He needs to make sure Lorenzo Cain stay away from him. He kills lefties.
It's also a very deep lineup for the Royals, and if you look at some of the numbers they put up in the first 2 games in the series, really the 1 through 5 hitters have been outstanding. They have combined for a .421 average. They've also knocked in 7 of the 10 runs that they've driven in this series. But really, Kenrys Morales, Rod, is one guy that stands out, a newcomer to this lineup, and boy, has he performed.
He may be one of the best signs of the offseason by Dayton Moore, their outstanding general manager. Who would have thunk that Kenrys Morales would come back and do what he's done this year after really not having a good year last year? Already 81 driven in every time there's runners on base. Switch hitting, power hitter hitting right in the middle of the batting order. He's been driving in a lot of runs. He and Prince Fielder probably are the leading candidates for comeback player of the year in the American League. That's how good Kenrys Morales has been this year, and he's been a difference maker for this lineup for the Kansas City Royals.
All right, Tigers have one more here in KC. On to Houston next to continue the road trip. After a short break, we send you back to the Coliseum Studios. We'll check in with Trevor Thompson, but coming up in this one tonight, we'll see if the Royals continue to play the defense they have played so far. They have put on a clinic. Stay with us. Game 3 coming up next. Stadium as we get you ready for baseball tonight. Tigers fans hoping for some better news here tonight. They dropped the first 2 games in the series. They are facing the right-handed offerings of Edinson Volquez tonight. And here is the starting lineup that Volquez will be facing here. For the Tigers, it is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Ghost leading off in center field, followed by Iglesias and Ian Kinsler. Victor Martinez, your DH. J.D. Martinez in right. Tyler Collins, another start in left. Castellanos, Marte, and McCann, your bottom 3. Marte has been awfully good with the bat in his last 4 ball games. Here are the numbers on Mr. Volquez.
Well, until Johnny Cueto arrived just a couple of weeks ago, it was Volquez who had been their best starter this year. In his 23 starts, they had won 16 of those games. He's got a fastball that gets up to 97. He also has a really good curveball and an outstanding changeup.
So the Tigers trying to get the offense going here. They've been limited to 4 hits in each of the first 2 games in this series. They just have not been able to get it going. Of course, the Royals have played some really good defense as well. As Volquez prepares for his next start, goes Iglesias, Kinsler, the top 3.
Yeah, Tigers need to get ready to hit the fastball that Volquez will be featuring here. Another guy in their starting rotation that has a mid-90s heater.
Anthony Gose 1 for 6 in the series. The first pitch is a little bit outside. 1 ball to no strikes. 255 now for Gose. He's hit a couple of home runs this year. Here's the 1-0. Anthony shoots it back up the middle into center field. Base hit.
That's a good start. Maybe the Tigers can score first here tonight. Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals starting defense. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons, and it's an outstanding defensive club with a lot of athleticism. Rios, Kane, Zobrist in the outfield. Escobar has played the 2nd most innings at shortstop since 2011. The only other one is Ramirez. Alexei Ramirez.
Ned Yost in his 6th season as the Royals skipper has his team 24 over the 500 mark. And in first place in the Central. Here is Iglesias. He is showing bunt, yanks it back, and looks at a strike.
Salvador Perez not behind the plate today. And Drew Buteri is, but he's a good throwing catcher as well. Nice backup catcher. And you wonder if Ghost is entertaining the thought of trying to steal a bag, get himself into a scoring position. I didn't know he hurt his wrist on that tag last night at McCann.
Yeah, he actually he bothered it by doing that. He had been bothered by a bad wrist recently, aggravated it. There's a bouncer back to the mound. He throws it to nobody in particular, and everybody is safe. A double play ball turns into a break for the Tigers. Volquez threw it to the bag, but there was nobody there.
Looked like some bad communication there between the shortstop Infante and also Escobar. Neither guy ran toward the bag to cover the bag.
Well, the Tigers have to take advantage of this. 2 outs, nobody on. And it looks like Ned Yost wanted to look at it momentarily, but says let's play on.
So who'd they give that air to?
Waiting to find out. I would assume it'll go on the pitcher. It is E1.
Really?
Well, honestly, he kind of threw it to no man's land out there. And so Kinsler will stand in. Did you think one of the infielders should have gotten it?
Well, it looked like to me had Escobar been on the base, he would have been able to catch that ball and keep his foot on the base, but he was late getting there.
So Kinsler stands in now with 2 on. And he spins a breaking ball up there for a strike. 0-1. Tigers have been presented an opportunity here. See if they can take advantage. Now Volquez ready with the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And one more look at the miscommunication here between Escobar and Infante. And Volquez throws the ball towards second base. Had he been on the base, he probably would have been able to catch that and keep his foot on the base.
So the Royals, have been playing spectacular defense in the series, have created an opportunity here for the Tigers. Volk has good numbers this year. We showed them to you. He's having one of his better seasons. Had a good year last year with the Pirates and signed a deal in the offseason with Kansas City. And the 1-1. Bouncing ball foul. 1-2 on Kinsler. Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher batter matchup, and for Kinsler this season against right-handed pitching, well, the numbers have jumped dramatically in the second half. 342 against righties following the All-Star break.
He has been one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball since the All-Star break.
And a bluff back to second. Ghost reaching on a single. Iglesias on an error. Tigers had 4 hits in game 1, 4 hits in game 2. That will hopefully change here tonight in game 3. Lifted in the air to center field. Kane is cruising over. Ghost is tagging up. He will move to third, and the throw comes back into second base. Fly ball by Kinsler advances the lead runner. 1 out. First and third now for the Tigers. And that'll bring up Victor Martinez. Kinsler and Martinez were a combined 0 for 14 in the first 2 games. Victor right now at .241, 9 home runs on the season. He's knocked in 46. And Volquez delivers ball 1, missing outside to Martinez. Tigers with their loss last night now 54-59. They are 5 under the 500 mark. Third place in the Central. Here's the 1-0. Strike called by home plate umpire Clint Fagan. 1 ball and 1 strike on Martinez.
That's what he likes to do when he gets runners in scoring position against left-handed batters. Volquez likes to go to his changeup, and he likes to go to his curveball. If you're Victor in this particular situation, you're just simply looking for something up in the strike zone, something that would allow you to hit a fly ball deep enough to center field or left field, preferably to drive in the run.
Yeah, the Tigers have to come away with at least 1 here.
Yeah, no need in trying to get too greedy here.
Here's the 1-1. That's in the air to center field. Kane is coming in. He is measuring it. Catch is made. The throw is cut off. Sac fly RBI. The Tigers score first tonight.
Perfectly done by Victor Martinez, the veteran hitter, knowing how badly his team needed to score first in this game. Didn't try to force the issue against Volquez, just simply flipped it deep enough into the outfield. Like he got a fastball that was tailing away from him.
Martinez was 0 for 10 against Volquez's career, and he drives in a run with that at bat. 2 gone now, and it's 1-0 Tigers. 47th RBI for Victor Martinez. Here's J.D. Martinez. J.D. looks at a strike 0-1. 1 out of 5 in the series for J.D. batting .288. 30 home runs this year. The Royals have done a good job of controlling him, just 147 against KC pitching this season. Now Volquez with the 0-1. Bouncing ball foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Martinez. Volquez is 32 years old, native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, making his team high 24th start tonight. Won his last start, beat the White Sox with 7 strong, allowing just 1 run.
David Price of the now Toronto Blue Jays has also made 23 starts this year, just as Volquez has. But Price's teams have won 17 of those starts, and Volquez, as we told you, his team has won 16 of those.
Swing and a miss. Martinez is out of there, and the inning is over. Tigers settle for 1 run. Volquez gets his first strikeout. Left-hander Daniel Norris will take the hill for the Tigers, and he is presented tonight by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Norris making his 8th start this year. 2-2 record with a 4.24 ERA. One really good start for the Tigers against Baltimore. The other one not so good against the Boston Red Sox.
And the young left-hander, 22 years of age, will face Escobar to lead things off. Alcides Escobar for the Royals.
Norris was not very good in first pitch strikes against the Boston Red Sox. When we went up against them 5 days ago, he'll need to be a whole lot better here tonight against a hot Kansas City Royals team.
Royals, as we had mentioned, the first 2 nights are awfully good in the first inning. They came in at plus 47 in the first inning. But it's the Tigers that have scored first in this game. Here's the 0-1. Escobar swings and misses. No balls, 2 strikes.
Outstanding breaking pitch there thrown by Norris, looking like a McCann is going to get him to mix in all of his pitches here in the very first inning.
Third start as a Tiger for Daniel Norris. That's wasted back to the screen.
And Norris has a fastball that goes anywhere from 90 to 94. Average heater, probably 92 miles an hour. He's got a really good changeup. He also has a good curveball. His cutter really hasn't been a good pitch for him this year. A lot of people call his cutter a slider, but it's actually a cut fastball.
That's hit the other way to second base. Kinsler 1 step to the grass. 1 out. Here's the rest of the lineup for the Royals, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Escobar leading things off. He is followed by Zobrist and Kane. Hosmer, Morales, Moustakas are in the middle of the lineup. Rios, Infante, and Butera rounded out. And boy, is Lorenzo Cain been hot of late, and he's been hot in the series. Ben Zobrist will stand in now with 1 out. Zobrist is at .273 overall this year. That includes his time with the Royals and the Athletics. Came up with the Rays organization, spent his entire career there until this year. Good look at a ball outside, 1-1. Zobrist has given Ned Yost a guy to plug into the 2 spot, high on base percentage, and because of that, Mike Moustakas has been lowered to the 6 hole in their lineup.
Also, a pretty good switch hitter hitting in that 2 hole.
Can do a lot of things, Ben Zobrist. Play a lot of positions, walks a lot. The 2-1. High fly ball, right field, playable. JD Martinez under it, and there are 2 gone.
Norris got a real good fastball here tonight. That last one at 94. Let's set the Tigers defensive alignment for you while we have a moment. It's presented by Beaumont Health. In right, there's Martinez, goes in center field. Collins, well, he's in left. Third to first, Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Marte. 13 outfield assists already this year for JD Martinez, the most by a Tiger since Bobby Higginson in 2014.
Well, the Tigers this year under Brad Ausmus, we mentioned 54 and 59. There are the numbers on Brad in his career as the Tiger skipper. Lorenzo Cain looks at a strike. Good fastball.
That was 2004, not 2014. If Higginson played last year, I missed him.
Did pretty good shape if he played last year.
Did you see him last year?
No, I didn't see him at all last year.
I had him with 13 assists last year.
That's pretty good. I'm sure Bobby's pleased to hear about that as well.
From Lakeland, Florida.
1-1 on King. He's batting with 2 outs here. 6 for 8 in the series. High fly ball, center field, playable. Anthony goes under it, and Daniel Norris will have himself a 1-2-3 first inning. Now it's going to be Tyler Collins to lead it off for the Tigers. It'll be Collins, Castellanos, Marte facing Edinson Volquez, who allowed a run in the first. And Collins looks at ball 1 to get things rolling here in the second.
It's the 3rd consecutive start for Tyler Collins. And Tiger's going to take a long look at Tyler in the last 7 weeks of the season.
Here's the 1-0. Tigers on to Houston next, where Dallas Keuchel will pitch game 1 in that series. And Brad said before the game today, Rajay will play that game, but Collins has gotten some extended reps now.
Yeah, Houston finally won a game on the road.
Slapped down the left field line. That is a fair ball right on the line. Collins on his way to second. He'll pull in with a leadoff double. 3rd double of the year for Tyler.
The Tigers know that Volquez likes his off-speed pitches. He loves his changeup. He also really likes his breaking ball. That's a changeup that fooled Collins momentarily. His body was out in front, but he kept the hands back, therefore able to still put it in play and got himself a double down in the left field corner.
Kicked up chalk. That's how close that was. So the Tigers already with a couple of hits in this game, and now here is Castellanos.
And believe it or not, here we sit August 12th, and that's just the second extra base hit that Volquez has given up on his changeup this year.
There's a breaking ball strike. That's pretty incredible, actually.
Isn't it, though? He's been outstanding for them.
Well, opponents are batting .167 against Volquez with men in scoring position this year. That is the second best mark in the American League.
And a lot of the time he throws that changeup to the right-handers and the left-handers when runners are in scoring position.
There's a drive to left center field. There's a base hit. Another run will score. Collins comes in. It's an RBI hit for Nick Castellanos. 51st RBI of the year. 2-0 Tigers.
It's a nice job by Castellanos. He was simply trying to get Collins over to third base, and with nobody out, get him over there with one out, and he was rewarded with a base hit right back up the middle. Collins able to score without a play.
Much better start for the Tigers tonight, who already have 3 hits now. There's Jeffrey Marte. Another start at first base in this ball game for Marte. And he looks at ball 1.
Tigers already have more runs here tonight than they had in the first 2 games combined against Kansas City Royals pitching.
And we're only 7 batters into this game. And Marte average down is up to 289. Rolled foul down the third base line. Well, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we'll select our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. Going to be interesting when Miguel Cabrera comes back, and the word is that might be on Friday in Houston. What happens with Marte?
He's got to take a seat.
Well, there's no doubt he's going to take a seat. It's whether or not he's doing it here in Toledo. There's a ball inside, and the count now is 2-1. The thing about Marte, though, Rod, is he doesn't play a lot of different positions. I mean, he can play first and third, but he's not like a super utility guy. He does provide you some power off the bench, though,
which is a nice luxury to have. The Tigers don't have much of that.
Jeffrey sits safely in his last 4. So Volquez having some early trouble here. Gave up a run, although he was part of that in the first inning with the throwing error. And now another run here in the second. The Royals crowd is not as boisterous as they were the last 2 nights. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on Marte. Volquez snatching the baseball back. Visibly frustrated here. McCann waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1. Outside, walked him. And the struggles continue for Volquez.
Well, you mentioned that Miggy possibly will get a chance to play as early as Friday in Houston. Missed a total of 34 games with that left calf strain. .350 batting average for Miggy this season, but he's going to need a whole lot of plate appearances to qualify for the batting title.
Well, Miguel is, as Brad put it, probably it would be surprising if he didn't come back and was activated on Friday. Certainly at some point in Houston. Now, whether or not he'll be able to play, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, that remains to be seen. Probably not. So he'll probably play a game and maybe sit out a game, or maybe even some DH.
Yeah, that might be the best way for Brad to handle Miggy when he does come back.
Now McCann with 2 on, nobody out. Tigers already lead 2-0. And Volquez hits the outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. McCann is 0 for 4 in the series. Oh, Volquez taking too long. McCann will step out. Here's the ratio on Volquez, 25-17 strikes. Bouncing ball toward third. Moustakas goes to second. There's one. And a double play. The Tigers have hit into a ton of those this year. 5, 4, 3, 2 gone.
Moustakas was playing in at the cut of the grass. He was not quite sure whether there was going to be a bunt on or not, but he simply got himself a one-hopper, and he gave Omar Infante a really nice feed, and Omar was able to use that bag to protect himself from the sliding Marte, who attempted to take him out.
112 double plays the Tigers have grounded into this year.
That's the most in the majors.
So here is Ghost now trying to provide a 2-out hit. Anthony singled to get the game started back in the first inning. And he'll take strike one. 96 that time from Volquez.
When you go up against Volquez and there's runners in scoring position, you can sit on an off-speed pitch, at least for the first couple of pitches. Then after that, you simply have to look for the baseball.
Ooh, a strike called by DJ Rayburn. 0-2.
It's a changeup at 86 miles an hour that apparently Anthony Ghost couldn't hold up on.
Now they go 2. Ghost is hitting just 149 in the second half, and recently, especially in this series, he seemingly has had trouble catching up to a good fastball, which was not the case early in the season. And Brad said before the game today he thinks Ghost right now a little bit caught in between, looking for breaking balls and then not able to adjust to the fastball. There's a heater, mid-90s, that missed inside. But here are the splits. Both of his home runs coming in the first half. Castellanos hit third with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So the Tigers will get 1 run. They leave a man at third. But good to see the bats perking up a little bit. They got a run in the first and now a run here in the second and lead 2-0. Daniel Norris goes back to work, and he faces the left-handed batting Eric Hosmer. He'll be followed by Kenrys Morales and Mike Moustakas. What a year for Hosmer. 317. He's knocked in 64. And he'll look at a ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Norris had a snappy first inning through just 11 pitches in a 1-2-3 first. 1-2 on Hosmer.
He's got a live fastball tonight, does Norris. He's gotten up to 95 miles an hour. He's also 4 of 4 in first pitch strikes, which is what Jeff Jones told me before the game was an absolute must for Norris this evening.
Little chopper to second for the out. Hosmer gone 4-3. 1 away here in the second. We'll bring up Kenrys Morales. Double RBI, 2 out of 7 of the series for Morales. Did not have a hit in the ball game last night, but he did walk, which means he's been on base in 17 straight now for the Royals. First one from Norris is low, 1-0. It'll bounce in and away from McCann. 2 balls, no strikes on Kenrys.
When the Tigers made the decision that they were going to trade David Price, they simply got back, in their opinion, the best possible prospect that they could get back in a deal for David Price, which was Norris.
Pulled on the ground right into the shift, and Iglesias has it. 2 gone. Let's send him down to John Keating now, who has more on Daniel Norris.
One of the things we learned early on about Daniel Norris is that he's a little bit different. He likes a simpler life. We learned that he lived part of the time in a van in the off season. He lives on a budget that's much smaller than most major league players. When he made his first start at Comerica Park, some young woman had a fan that said, "Daniel Norris, will you marry me? I compost." And so I asked Daniel about that. He smiled. He had seen that on Twitter. He said, "I'm just glad she's an environmentalist."
All right, Keats. Well, Daniel Norris is environmentally conscious. There's no doubt about that. And as Keats says, a little bit different in the way he goes about his business. We do know this. He is all business on the mound.
Yeah, but just to finish that story on the Tigers when they made the trade for him, they could have traded David Price to a lot of other teams, but they felt like the package they were getting back from the Blue Jays was the best package possible, and of course Daniel Norris a major reason for that.
Norris has been considered among the best prospects in all of baseball. In fact, Baseball America ranked him the 18th best overall. He was the top prospect in the Toronto system. Ooh, that one just missed. Norris thought he had a strike. He was on his way to the dugout.
He's got a problem with that. He did that a lot in his last start against the Boston Red Sox.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Mike Moustakas. Missed it high, and the count goes 3-2. Let us not forget the Tigers also got Matt Boyd in that deal with Norris, and man, he's looked pretty good in 2 starts.
He really has. Good fastball, made a really nice adjustment a couple of nights ago after giving up a few early runs against Kansas City.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Now you can walk back to the dugout. 1-2-3 inning. First strikeout of the game for Norris. Tigers baseball tonight is presented by Bell Tire.
which of course is known for its barbecue.
I'll take a short end.
You might as well send up a pair. I'll take one too. That looks awfully good. Just like the start of the ball game for the Tigers here tonight. They lead 2-0. Jose Iglesias leads it off against Edinson Volquez. Iglesias rolls one to left, a base hit out of the reach of Mike Moustakas. So the Tigers get the leadoff man on for the third straight inning to start this game.
It's a fastball down at the bottom of the strike zone that Iglesias simply opens the hips up and turns on and hits it right past a drawn-in Moustakas at third base. And Tigers come out a lot more aggressive here tonight against Volquez than they did the last couple of nights against Ventura and Johnny Cueto.
Kinsler fly to center field, his first at bat. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Escobar flips to second, one relay, double play. Alcides Escobar with the glove shoveling to Infante. And yet another double play.
Alcides Escobar simply is one of the best shortstops in all of baseball. He's long, he's rangy, he has an outstanding throwing arm, and he doesn't miss very many ground balls.
Double play balls for Volquez in each of the last two innings, and really when you think back to the first, he probably should have gotten one there as well on the ball that he threw away at second base. Here is Victor Martinez. In there for strike one on Victor, who by the way just might, there is a chance now, play some first base down the stretch here when they try and give Miggy a little bit of rest initially when he comes back. Brad still doesn't want to do it. The coaching staff though has raised the option at least of having Martinez play first.
And something that we've talked about up here as well. Yeah, whether Victor would be good enough to go over to first base when Miggy came back so Brad could ease him in.
Martinez took some ground balls at first base earlier tonight during batting practice. He'll rip that one to right field. It's a base hit.
That's his first ever hit against Edinson Volquez.
2-out single for J.D. Martinez.
I had a feeling that Victor would play some first base this year.
Yeah, I think the Tigers certainly have to be careful with Cabrera, and he certainly gives them another option. But that is not set in stone. They're just considering that option. They're certainly very concerned about his knee. They want to make sure that his knee doesn't have to undergo any more pressure than it has to. Here's J.D. Martinez. Ball outside, 1-0. Martinez struck out to end the first inning. Tigers now have 5 hits. Two 2-0 on JD. Last night recording his 13th outfield assist, throwing out Lorenzo Cain at second base, tied for the major league lead among outfielders. Here's the 2-0. Martinez pretty good in the month of August, or I should say, yeah, the month of August. 300 this month as we head towards September. And the final month of the year will be putting the finishing touches on his best major league season. One that so far has provided 30 home runs. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on Martinez. .40 total now for Volquez.
Ratio pretty good. He's only missed the strike zone with 12 of the 40. 28 strikes so far thrown by Edinson Volquez.
Here's the 2-2.
Man, does he love that changeup.
Volquez has been tough to beat here in Kansas City. He is 7-2 at home, and his ERA is 2.60 at Kauffman Stadium. But the Tigers jumped him for one in the first, one in the second. Ground ball, third base side, diving stop, Moustakas. And Martinez is out. No runs, 2 hits, 1 man left. Expectations of what a bank can be when it's time come to Comerica. Jeep, find your summer of adventure with great deals at the Jeep Summer Clearance Event. And by Purina, your pet, our passion. Kauffman Stadium, the site tonight. Tigers wrapping up this 3-game series here against the Royals before they head to Houston. Starting a series there Friday night.
It won't be long before they're playing some football across the street.
Ball drilled down the left field line. It's up against the wall. That'll be extra bases for Rios. He's on his way to second with a leadoff double. And the first hit of the evening for KC.
Rios did not play in last night's game, but he's back out in right field this evening. It's a fastball that basically splits the middle that Rios was looking for, and he was able to turn over on it, hit the ball over the head of the left fielder, Tyler Collins. And when do you get ready for your draft and all that stuff?
You know, that's coming up, and I'm already preparing. I've got my books out and everything.
You good to go?
I'm good to go. Fantasy football, man, that's just right around the corner. You, of course, aren't involved in that, are you?
No, I'm not involved in it.
One of these years. Here's Omar Infante. I've got the perfect fantasy football name for you if you would just join.
What would that be?
The I See You Big Fellows.
Okay. Well, that might just get me in.
1-0 on Infante. Omar back in there tonight after taking the night off last night. Zobrist plays second base last night. Norris ready with the 1-0. Up high, 2 balls and no strikes.
Omar Infante is a dead pull hitter, and that's one of the reasons why the batting average down a little bit this year. But in this particular situation with a runner on second, nobody out, Omar will be trying to hit something through the right side of the infield to at least get Alex Rios over to third base.
Here's the 2-0. In there, a strike. Infante thought it was up. Not so, says Clint Fagan.
Omar does not use right field very often. 45 to left, 32 to center.
Here's the 2-1. Popped him up. Right side, Marte and Kinsler backing up, and Ian makes the catch. One gone. Rios does not advance. We'll bring up Drew Butera. Salvador Perez getting the night off tonight. Butera catching. And batting just 186. He did pick up his first home run of the season against the Tigers back at Comerica last week. He hit it off of Anibal Sanchez.
If you're Tigers middle infielders, in this case Kinsler, Iglesias, you can't forget about Rios out at second. And he has stolen third base 23 times in his major league career.
Strike one in the outer edge. 95 that time from Norris.
He has hit 95 on several different occasions here this evening.
When Norris was in the Blue Jays system, they had sent him to the minor leagues to learn how to try and get quicker outs. You know, he's considered himself, or did consider himself, a power lefty. We saw the 95-mile-an-hour fastball, but they wanted him to pitch to a little bit more contact when they sent him down. But at heart, I think he just considers himself a guy that, when he needs to, can throw it by you. Here's a bouncer to the shortstop. Iglesias for the out, and the runner holds. Two gone. Well, the MGM Grand Detroit brings you the scouting report on Daniel Norris. There's some interesting numbers. You look at his starts with Toronto and his 2 starts with Detroit. He's throwing more four-seamers.
Yeah, he's throwing a lot more fastballs. You know, that slider, you can pretty much cross that out and put cut fastball there. That's pretty much what he throws 19% of the time. He also probably should use his curveball a little bit more often. And that would probably give Daniel better numbers against left-handed batters. Left-handers are hitting over 300 against Daniel as we speak.
Alcides Escobar swings and misses.
That's a good pitch there.
Escobar with a ground out in the first was the starting shortstop this year in the All-Star game. Here's the 0-1. Escobar grew up in Venezuela, and the man he idolized is in the ballpark tonight. That would be Omar Vizquel, the Tigers' first base coach. Escobar, growing up, said he was my man. Vizquel had a long big league career.
Made a lot of all-star teams, won a lot of gold gloves, and got a lot of hits, too.
Over 2,800. Outside, 2-1.
Been some outstanding shortstops to come out of Venezuela. Omar obviously would be one of those. Davey Concepcion, the big red machine back in the day in the mid-70s, was also a tremendous shortstop and probably should be in the Hall of Fame.
Two balls, one strike. Three and one. Man, was that big red machine loaded. All-star and Hall of Fame caliber players.
Yeah, that was pretty much when guys were spending their entire careers with one team, and boy, did they have some talent. Bench and Morgan and Dreesen, Perez, Concepcion and Griffey. They had a squad.
Yes, they did. 3-1.
Foster.
Strike call, 3-2. Nobody really talks about George Foster all that much.
You know, the one thing that you don't see very much these days is you don't see the players using the black bats like you did back in those days. And a lot of players use the black bats because they said that it was tougher for the outfielders to see the ball off of the black bat at night. You know, obviously the lights are much better these days than they were back in the mid-'70s, early '80s. And a lot of guys, and Foster was one guy that said that's why he used the black bat.
Driven to the gap in left center field, going to get down and score a run. Escobar might get 3 out of this. He's going to try it. He's coming to third. Here's the throw. Safe, and it gets by and goes into the dugout, and he will score. And the Royals have tied the game.
Norris leaves the ball up in the strike zone. It's a breaking ball at about 86 miles an hour and up through the gap. Doesn't go. And by the time the Tigers are able to pick it up, the throw goes to third base by Iglesias, and it simply hits off the bag and trickles into the stand for another run.
Bouncing ball off the bat of Zobrist, and that will end the inning. A triple, an RBI, and an E6. The call on that play, and just like that, it's a 2-2 game. All right, Mick, thanks very much. First pitch is driven deep to center field and caught right in the warning track as Tyler Collins hit that ball a ton, but to dead center.
Take one more look at the throw from Iglesias to Castellanos. I don't know if it hit the foot right there.
Oh, it did.
Of Escobar. Daniel Norris is in the proper position to back up. He's right there, and the ball hits the foot, looks like, and kicks right over the head of Daniel Norris, who was in the right spot. Ooh, I can't tell whether it hit the foot or not.
Well,
it's an error, though.
It is an error, and it's a 2-2 game. Triple E6 on that play. 1 RBI for Alcides Escobar. Castellanos waiting on an 0-1. And it's a strike 0-2.
About half the pitches that Volquez has thrown here tonight have been off-speed pitches. Fastball's gotten all the way up to 96, but he's used a lot of curveballs, and he's also thrown a lot of changeups to the righties and the lefties.
Volquez seemed to be annoyed or at least bothered by that bad throw in the first inning, which resulted in not a double play, but instead the Tigers setting up a run. But I don't know, the 2 runs now have evened this game up. Maybe that has energized him. Tigers got him for another run in the second, had a couple more hits in the third, but didn't score. We'll miss that one low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Or check it, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Castellanos had an RBI single in the second. Well, Volquez with the 1-2. Threaded the needle for strike 3, and Nick says, I don't think so. He is called out on strikes. 2 gone.
Even though Volquez is throwing a lot of off-speed pitches here, the one thing you can't get caught doing if you're the Tigers hitters, you can't get caught looking for one of those off-speed pitches with 2 strikes. And because he throws you that fastball in the mid-90s, you've got no chance to hit it.
And he dotted the corner there with that last pitch. Here is Marte. Jeffrey looks at a strike. Base on balls in the second. Tigers have short-circuited themselves a couple of times tonight with 2 double play balls. Pulled foul, 0-2. The more we watch Marte, the more we realize why he was having such a good year at AAA this year. Was an all-star down at Toledo. He has showed some power here. He's hit a few home runs, 3 of them to be exact.
He doesn't get cheated either. He's very aggressive once he steps into that batter's box. Takes a healthy cut.
While he may not be a polished and finished product at first base, he is certainly giving it his all. Here's some pretty good numbers over the last 4 games. 6 for 15.
Well, that's why Brad continues to run Jeffrey out there.
Now the 1-2. Volquez thought he had that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's got a nice differential in speeds between the fastball that's gotten up to 96 and the changeup that's about 84 miles an hour. Here comes that changeup.
Pulled to third, but foul.
When you have 96 and you throw that one pitch and then you come right back with the changeup on the next pitch at 84, but you're throwing it out of the same window with the same arm speed, and you've got the kind of action on it that Volquez has. Right? That's why he's having such a really good year for Kansas City.
Signed a 2-year deal in the offseason, mutual option for 2017 for Volquez.
Dayton Moore did really nice work in the offseason with his acquisitions, didn't he? Volquez, Morales.
Yeah, both have been outstanding, a really big part. And maybe, you know, we talk about all the offense that Morales has provided, but really until they got Cueto, they were struggling, I think, in the starting pitching rotation.
Yeah, they've got themselves a legitimate ace now that allows Ned Yost to rest the bullpen. There's George Brett, the Hall of Famer, sitting upstairs to the right of Dayton Moore.
And Marte is the latest Tiger now to bounce one off. I believe it's either his foot or knee.
Seems like we've seen a lot of Kevin Rand the last couple days.
A lot of airtime for the Tigers head athletic trainer. Okay, so it wasn't the foot or the knee.
Still hurts, though.
Still hurts. Maybe even more.
Kevin Rand was telling me that he's got to go take his oldest son to college in just a few days. Villanova, his oldest son, is going to school. Yep. So he's going to drop him off.
Outstanding school.
Going to drop a couple tears.
Yep, there's no question about that. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball left side. Escobar surrounds it.
And Marte is out. 1-2-3 inning for Volquez.
Kane in center field holding Collins to a single, not a double. Then you had the perfect relay that was executed by Dyson and also Escobar. Perez, well, he picked off 1-2, and Escobar was at it again at the shortstop position. And then it was their outfielder as well, Orlando, who ran down a ball. In 4 consecutive innings, they made outstanding defensive plays against the Tigers with men in scoring position. Tigers could have very easily scored 3 or 4 runs last night.
Well, the ball that Orlando ran down, I think, was huge because it was still a fairly tight game. That would have made it a 5-3 game at that point. But he ran that one down in right center field, and that pretty much was that for the Tigers.
And I was thinking about that rundown play because Dave Clark, in my opinion, made the right decision. But there's no other left fielder as fast as Dyson, so they're not going to get to that ball as fast as he did. And then once he got it to the shortstop, Escobar, with his arm strength, they weren't going to get it out.
There's a base hit to center. It gets away from Ghost. Kane is on the run. He will stop at second base and pull in there.
Man, did that ball have some backspin on it.
It skittered off the glove of the center fielder, Anthony Ghost.
When that ball hit the grass here, it just took off on Ghost. And Ghost is a guy that's played on artificial surface, so he's used to balls taking off on him in the outfield. Kane continues to kill left-handed pitching. And that ball just had another gear.
Oh, it did jump, didn't it? So the Royals have their third hit.
Kane came into this contest tonight batting .362 against left-handed pitching.
Well, here is Eric Hosmer. Royals in search of their first lead of the night. We're in the 4th inning, 2-2. There's a strike called. Hosmer bounced out his first time up, but when you look at what he's done against left-handed pitching this year, he's hitting .293 against lefties.
He's having a really good year. Tremendous year. Really a breakout year for Hosmer, who has shown some flashes of brilliance.
Big swing there, 0-2.
Hosmer also batting .347 this year overall against Tigers pitching.
Now the 0-2 pitch. Just got a piece of it. Hosmer stays alive.
It's the last 2 seasons for Hosmer. And .270 with 9 homers in 2014. This year, already 12 homers. He's batting .317, and the line drive percentage, that bottom note, is up to nearly 26%.
Hosmer has hit safely in 21 of 23. Runner going to third. Here comes the throw down there. The tag. He is saved at third base. Lorenzo Cain swipes third. McCann fired a bullet down there.
How risky is that? Stealing third base with a left-hander in the batter's box, and not only a left-hander, but Hosmer's been one of the hottest hitters in the game. If you're Cain, you better make it, and he did.
Barely.
Lorenzo Cain is now 18 of 20 in steals of third in his major league career. 18 of 20.
So now the go-ahead run at third base. Tigers apparently going to see if they want to challenge this. They waved it off. Castellanos did a good job of keeping the tag on the runner in case he overslid the bag. Here's the 1-2. Driven deep to left field. Collins on the run. He looks up against the wall. A run will score, and Hosmer is in with a double.
Norris was able to get ahead of Hosmer, no balls and 2 strikes, and somehow Hosmer still got him a pitch at the top of the strike zone that he was able to hit the opposite way over the head of Collins. He homered last night to left field as well, so he's got a lot of power in that direction.
Hosmer now has 65 RBIs. Royals have their first lead. Still nobody out. They'll bring up Kendrys Morales. All of a sudden the Royals have 3 runs on 4 hits. Ball 1 to Morales. Bounced out to the shortstop his first time up. Daniel Norris did retire the first 6 in a row. He had 1, 2, 3 innings in the first and second, but now trails 3-2. Here's the 1-0 to center field on a line. Ghost going back. He'll make the catch.
It's not good base running there by Hosmer.
Should be at third base right now.
Sure should be.
Ghost was on his heels.
If you're Hosmer at second base, one of the things you have to do, ball hit to the outfield, you got to get back and tag right away. He was late getting back to tag, and then once the ball got into Ghost's glove, it was too late for Hosmer to try to get to third base with the arm that Ghost has in center.
Well, time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag DetroitDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Second time through the lineup tonight for the Kansas City Royals. They have hit some balls extremely hard against Norris.
Moustakas struck out in his first at bat. He'll look at a strike. 0-1. .274 this year for Moustakas. Only .239 against lefties. Here's the 0-1. McCann down to stop it. 1 ball, 1 strike. James pretty much has taken over now as the full-time and lead catcher for the Tigers. He is out there just about every single day, and has earned it. Just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike. That is 50 now for Daniel Norris. In there for a strike. Even the count now 2-2. Moustakas didn't like the call. Moustakas last night snapped an 0 for 18 slump. He finished the ball game with a couple of hits, hit a big 2-run homer in the 6th, and then knocked in an insurance run in the 8th. The 2-2. 3-2 on Moustakas. Right-handed batting, Rios on deck. Here's the 3-2. And a bluff to second. Norris gave up 9 hits in just 3 1/3 in his last outing. That was against the Boston Red Sox after that really good start against the Orioles on the road. Here's the 3-2. And he lost in ball 4. So the left-handed batter gets a walk. 2 on now with 1 out. Friday, August 21st, the Tigers will play the Texas Rangers at 7:08 p.m. Fans are invited to stay after the game. It'll be a fireworks spectacular. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
August 21st, and it's the first time that we see the Texas Rangers this year.
That's the way the schedule has gone this year. Rangers in the middle of a playoff chase as well.
Did you read where last night all 15 home teams won their games, and that's the first time that all 15 teams have ever won all of their home games in the major leagues last night?
I saw that. It was a pretty amazing note. I mean, you'd figure it would have happened once or twice before. 15-0 for the home team last night. That Rangers team right now is 2 games up on the Tigers, or ahead of them in the wild card chase. Tigers have some teams to jump. Here's Rios now with 2 on and 1 out. Rios had a double to get things started back in the 3rd and eventually scored. And now there's some action in the Tigers bullpen. It's Kyle Ryan starting to heat up.
If you're Norris, you're trying to get a ground ball, so everything that you throw to Rio should be south of the knees, whether it be the changeup, the curveball, or the fastball. That's what your goal should be. Get yourself a ground ball, get out of the inning.
2-0.
If he has any confidence whatsoever in the changeup or the curveball, and that might be the best pitch to throw right here. You know Rios is looking for that fastball.
High, ball 3. So he didn't give him the fastball, but he's fallen behind 3-0. Infante on deck. Norris operating here against the bottom 3 in the Royals lineup. Way inside, and he walked him to load the bases. Back-to-back walks. That'll bring up Infante.
You don't just want to throw a fastball right down the middle here to Infante. Even though you have walked two, Infante, if he gets a good fastball to hit, he'll be looking to drive in all three of the base runners.
Infante popped up with a man at second in the third. And a strike right at the knees. 3-2 Royals have taken their first lead on the RBI double by Hosmer, but they're looking for more. Royals a tough bunch to beat here at home. They are 39-18, the most home wins in the American League. The 0-1. High fly ball, deep left center field. Ghost going back, still going back. He's under it. That'll score the run. Moustakas also tagging. He'll go to third. Hosmer scores, and the Royals lead 4-2. Infante drives in a run with a sacrifice fly. It's his 33rd RBI of the year. That'll bring up Drew Butera. Butera's over one with a ground out. Acquired on May 7th from the Angels.
Butera appears to be one of those guys, Mario, that's going to get about 10-12 years of major league service and time in the major leagues, and most of that time will be as a backup catcher.
And you know what? That's okay, because there is room for those guys who can really make a good living if they can call a game.
Get yourself a nice pension.
And Butera takes high, 1-0.
He's already backed up some pretty good catchers. He was backing up Joe Mauer in Minnesota when Mauer was still catching. And now backing up Salvador Perez.
Dad played at the big leagues, including 1 year with the Tigers. Actually, just a couple of games with the Tigers. It was 1983. Sal Butera.
He's a scout now.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. So this has been a lengthy inning for Norris. This will be his 24th pitch in this half inning coming up. Here it is. Strike call. 1-2 on Butera, who did not like that call from Clint Fagan and has a little chat with him. Inning started with back-to-back doubles. Kane and Hosmer. A couple of walks have figured in the scoring as well. Butera came in batting just 184. 4 years with the Minnesota Twins, a couple of years with the Angels. Way outside, runner goes to second, no throw. Rios will advance. That'll leave two Royals now in scoring position.
And second stolen base of the night for the Kansas City Royals, both of those in this inning. This team can just beat you in so many ways. Last couple of nights they haven't needed the stolen base.
Got him, strike three. Butera caught looking. That'll end the inning. However, the Royals do more damage. They score a couple of times here in the fourth. They take their first lead of the night as we go to the fifth. Nick Castellanos RBI single driving home Tyler Collins. That made it a 2-0 game, but the Tigers lead would not last very long. In the third, it was an RBI triple by Alcides Escobar. He would then come around to score when the throw got away. And then in the fourth inning, Hosmer able to double in a run, and Infante with a deep enough sacrifice fly to score Hosmer. A 2-run fourth, and the Royals now have a 4-2 lead on Comerica Bank. Game summary. And Daniel Norris take to a 2-0 lead tonight, but it has disappeared. And as we go to the fifth inning, Edinson Volquez will face McCann, then Ghost, and then Iglesias. Well, Volquez now with a 2-run edge. His first lead of the night as he misses low and away to McCann, who knocked into a double play in this game. Tigers have bounced into 2 of them. Sounds like that cricket's back tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. McCann is 0 for 5 in the series. Here's the 2-0. Bouncing ball to short. Escobar has it there, and that'll be a routine play. McCann is out, 1 gone. That'll bring up the top of the lineup now, Anthony Gose. Single strikeout for Ghost. Base hit started the game, eventually scored a run. Anthony now at 256. Drops down a bunt, but foul.
It's a good idea by Ghost. You get it down and you make sure the ball is not rolling once it gets to either Volquez or Moustakas, and with the speed of Anthony, more than likely he'll get himself a base hit.
Mentioned that Ghost in the second half batting just 149. Are you surprised he hadn't been able to or try to use his speed a little bit more?
Absolutely.
He'll drill that one foul down the right field line.
That's a serious weapon for a guy like Anthony, a guy that does have the ability to put the ball on the ground, and once you get it down, then you put the pressure on the defenders in the infield. I'm sure that's something that Wally Joyner, Brad Ausmus will talk to Anthony about the remaining 7 weeks of the season.
A little bit high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wally Joyner, the Tigers hitting coach.
Ghost still has not taken batting practice on the field one time this year with the team.
Flared toward left. It is slicing and going to drop foul.
And just to verify that, I was talking to Wally Joyner just before the Tigers took off on this road trip to Kansas City, and he verified it. He says, yep, he's got a routine in the cage with myself and David Newhand, and we've had it all year long.
How many guys do that?
Not many. I mean, there's times where guys will not take batting practice on the field. Guys just want a day off, and they may take a few swings in the cage, but I've never heard of a player to hit only in the cage every day the entire season. I mean, most of us want to see that ball fly.
Yeah, no doubt. There's Moustakas running back and running it down.
This crowd starts to say Moose when the ball is still in the air.
He could play some third.
And now that that bat has come around, he's going to start to get himself in the conversation of winning a Gold Glove or two. They say he has one or two in his future.
Well, here is Iglesias with 2 outs.
And last time Iglesias was up, he turned on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and hit it right between Escobar, the shortstop, and Moustakas, the third baseman.
He's been on base twice in this game. Reaching on an error by the pitcher Volquez. Here's the 1-0. Rip foul.
Watch out, Dave.
Iglesias rolls one to third. Here comes the Moose chance. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Edinson Volquez. A pair of 1-2-3 innings, and the Royals continue to lead 4-2.
Order in the first and the second. He was not missing with any of his pitches out over the heart of the plate, but then the third inning rolled around and they started making mistakes over the heart of the plate, and they were not missing those. Rios with a double, Escobar with a triple, Kane with a double, Hosmer with another double, and before he could look up, they've got 4 runs on the board.
Yeah, 4 runs on 4 hits, and the Royals have taken the lead after falling behind early. Daniel Norris going back to the hill and facing the top of the KC lineup. It'll be Escobar, Zobrist, and Kane. And Norris missed the low. 2 balls, no strikes.
And now it's up to Daniel Norris to make the adjustment the third time around through the batting order of the Kansas City Royals, because they adjusted to him the second time around.
Two and one the count. Escobar tripled and then scored on the throwing error by the relay man Iglesias. Swing and a miss. He chased one there, 2-2. Three hits in the series for Alcides Escobar. Also scored a couple of runs. And that one sails outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Norris also walked a couple of batters in the fourth. That helped set up their 4th run. Tigers at one point had Kyle Ryan warming up in that 4th inning. Little pop up, lazy to center field. Ghost started back, and now he'll come back in to make the play. One gone.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it's always brought to you by Xfinity on Daniel Norris. 95 top fastball so far for Norris, and he's touched that at least 10 times today.
That'll bring up Ben Zobrist.
And Ben Zobrist has already made starts at second base, left field, third base for his new team.
Well, he's used to it. He plays just about anywhere that he is needed on the field. Here's the 2-0 pitch. You look at a ball low, 3-0. Talk about his ability to walk. He has walked more than he has struck out this year. He'll take. There's a strike. 3-1. Norris now with the 3-1 pitch, and he walked him. Base on balls for Zobrist. That'll be the 3rd walk of the game now for Norris, and he is up to 75 pitches. With Lorenzo Cain, who, by the way, is 7 for 10 in this series.
He's really been on a tear the last 5 games. His batting average is way up, power numbers way up. I did not realize he had the kind of power in his bat to hit a ball as far as he did last night.
Big swing there. He almost lost his shoes. Cain, for the most part, was handled in that series in Detroit. In fact, Lorenzo was just 1 for 14 in that 3-game set there, but he's gotten his revenge in this series.
Tigers won that series too, didn't they?
They did. 2 out of 3. Mainly because they were able to slow down Cain. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, roll toward the third base side. Going to be a tough play. Norris has no play.
When you're going good, you're going good.
Infield hit, putting 2 men aboard.
Daniel Norris, pretty good athlete, and this ball topped right off the plate. Once he got there, he lost his footing after he was able to pick the ball up with the glove.
Well, it wasn't much to look at, but Cain won't be giving that base hit back. He is now 2 for 3 in this game, and here comes Brad Ausmus. Brad having a conversation here. Doesn't look like he's going to take the baseball. Hosmer will be the man to face him. He doubled in a run the last time up.
Looked like Daniel thought that Brad was coming to get him. He looked like he reached out with the ball to hand it to Brad once Brad got to the mound.
Well, they opened the bullpen gate as well, as if to say, all right, the reliever's coming in, but it never happened. And I suppose part of the maturation process, Rod, is the ability to find out if a guy can pitch out of trouble.
And he's going up against a left-hander.
Ryan's still warming up in the bullpen. 4 hits in the series, 4 RBIs for Hosmer. Ball 1.
That was a really good shot of Hosmer and how he holds his hands on the bat. He holds it in fingertips, which is really how you get good bat speed. You don't want the bat all the way back pushing up against your thumbs in the palm of your hand, but you want it out in the fingertips like Hosmer has it. And that really allows you to get through the strike zone with a lot of bat speed. Look at how he's holding that bat in the fingertips.
Ground ball right side. Kinsler will fire to second. There's one. Relay. Big double play for Daniel Norris. And that will end the threat for the Royals. It'll go 4-6-3. No runs, a hit, a walk, and the Tigers turn 2. Law firm, official legal services, sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Back here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, the Tigers wrap up this series here tonight, and they trail 4-2 as we go to the 6th. Ian Kinsler leads it off by lining it foul to left. It'll be Kinsler, Martinez. There's a strike right at the knees. Now 0-2 on Kinsler.
And did Brad hint at all as to what he would do with his batting order once Miggy possibly comes back on Friday?
No, he really didn't. But
we know Miggy's going in that 3 spot.
He's going 3. What else happens around him, we'll have to wait and see. Slowly rolled toward third. Moustakas, tough play. Boy, what a play by Hosmer to shift across the bag.
It's one of the things that you really become good at the longer you play over at first base, is judging where the ball's coming from and then judging what adjustments you need to make with your feet. This time Hosmer simply steps into foul territory and then takes the throw in front of Ian Kinsler as Kinsler's crossing the bag.
Made it look easy, the 2-time Gold Glove winner, Eric Hosmer.
He only made 2 errors this year, so we may as well give him 3.
Here's Victor Martinez. Martinez looks at ball 1. Victor had a sacrifice fly in the first, driving in his 47th run of the year. Sharp single to right field in his last at bat. Pulled to first base. Hosmer down to a backhand there. 2 gone. Check in now with John Keating.
Mario, the Royals have a thing. The players have challenged each other. If they don't say in post-game interviews 17 and 38, they're subjected to a team fine. Now, those numbers are used in the first line of a song by Trap Queen from hip-hop star Fetty Wap, and that's Lorenzo Cain's walk-up song, and it turns out that Fetty Wap was working a gig here in Kansas City tonight, actually. Made an appearance at the ballpark yesterday. The guys had great delight taking pictures with Fetty Wap, and there you have the extent of my knowledge of hip-hop star Fetty Wap.
Don't you have some Fetty Wap in your car?
No, I don't have Fetty Wap in my car, nor in my house, nor in my neighborhood, as far as I understand it.
I think Fetty Wap actually took some BP yesterday here at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah?
Keats is all over it, man.
Well, Chris Brown is here. And
right.
He's appearing tonight, and I don't know if Fetty Wap is opening for him or not, but I do know that the hotel was full of Chris Brown's dance people, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of them looked like they were dancers.
2 balls, no strikes on J.D. Martinez.
Breezy is his, I guess his street name. Chris Brown.
Chris Brown, Breezy.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-0. Ooh, big swing there, 2-1.
Fetty Wap.
Now, see, the Keats probably had to go online and check out the name of the tune, where the numbers came from, because he, I'm sure, didn't have that off the top of his head.
That's good journalism, though. That's good journalism.
Thank God for the internet.
Thank God for Wikipedia, right, Keats?
This Wikipedia you speak of, Mario, what is that exactly?
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about there.
It's your homepage is what it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes on J.D. Martinez. Lorenzo Cain's walk-up song. Well, it's been working for him on this homestand, that's for sure. There's a ball inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. J.D. is 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. Tigers in search of a 2-out runner here. They're down by 2 in the 6th. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Volquez, after giving up 2 early runs, has been awfully good tonight. A strikeout of J.D. is a 1-2-3-6. Stadium, and Daniel Norris back out to the hill. He will face Kendrys Morales to begin things. 4 runs on 5 hits for the home team, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Tigers. They play the shift against Kendrys Morales, 3 defenders to the left side of the bag, or the right side of the bag, depending on which way you're looking at it. Morales hit right into that shift in his first at bat, grounded out to the shortstop Iglesias. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 81 RBIs for Kendrys Morales is 3rd in the American League. Norris got himself a big double play ball off the bat of Eric Hosmer with 2 on and 1 out in the 5th. Earning himself another inning of work here. Way outside. 2-1. Morales taking, and now the count goes to 3-1 on the Royals DH. 3 walks in this game for Norris. Trying to avoid another high towering fly ball left field. Tyler Collins is under it. First out of the 6th inning. Hey, join the Tigers' efforts to strike out bullying on Sunday, August 23rd. Get a ticket to see the Tigers take on the Rangers at 1:08 p.m. And a strikeout bullying t-shirt exclusively at tigers.com/strikeoutbullying. With 1 out, here is Mike Moustakas. Saw a guy in the crowd last night wearing some moose antlers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was getting into it. There's a strike called on Moustakas. Hit only .212 last year, but boy, the numbers have jumped up this year.
Yeah, more hits this year for Moustakas than he did all of last year. And we're in the middle of August.
1-1.
And really the biggest difference that he made, he just started using the entire baseball field. He kind of rediscovered left field. There's some hits out there, he thought. And he worked on it in spring training, and he perfected it first couple of months of the season.
His 5 home runs in the postseason last year is a club record for the Royals. As you look at the hits by direction, way up to left.
Yeah, twice as many hits the opposite way this year already than he did all of last year.
Lazy fly ball to center field where Ghosts is positioned. 2 gone. Game break time. Here's Mickey York. It's coming soon. Just stick around.
I think Mick know a little something about Fetty Wap.
Yeah, I think he does too.
He got teenagers at home.
Yeah. Meanwhile, how about those Blue Jays?
They haven't lost, man, since they got Troy Tulowitzki.
They may never lose again. They are really, really scary right now, and they've got a chance to overtake the Yankees for first place in the East tonight if the Yankees lose. There's a drive to center field. Ghosts on the move. And Anthony runs that one down. Rios is out. 1-2-3 inning for Norris. Implications: the Angels battle the Royals in a playoff rematch, followed by the Nationals taking on the Giants in a pivotal game. Coverage begins Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1. Also streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
The Kansas City Royals have been playing on national television all week. National TV Monday, last night, Saturday, and then they've got the night game on Sunday this week against the Angels as well.
That's what happens when you're 68-44. Volquez's number's pretty good tonight after a shaky start.
11 groundouts for Edinson Volquez, and he's gotten a lot of those ground balls on that changeup. He's thrown a lot of breaking balls and a lot of changeups, and then when the Tigers hitters, they start to look for those off-speed pitches, he comes with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Collins doubled to left his first time up and then hit one to dead center to the warning track. In his last at bat, he'll pull this one to second base.
Make that 12 ground ball outs now for Volquez.
And 11 in a row retired by the Royals righty.
You have a favorite over the Toronto Blue Jays versus this Kansas City Royals team. Do you think one team is better than the other?
If you're forcing me to pick, I would go with the Royals because I just think they're more balanced. And you've made this point a lot. The Blue Jays are really right-handed heavy.
Yep.
In their lineup. And yes, they have a lot of guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. But we've seen many times in the playoffs that teams that rely on the home run ball as much as the Blue Jays do, well, they have a tendency to get shut down every now and then.
And this Royals team is a better overall defensive club, and they've got a lot more weapons as far as speed is concerned.
But got a better bullpen, we know that.
This much we do know: a healthy and hot Cueto, Volquez, and Ventura, they can shut down any right-handed lineup.
Castellanos looks at a strike on the outer edge. Nick didn't like that call. The Royals won 2 out of 3 against the Jays here, but the Jays won 3 out of 4 against the Royals in Toronto. Two good teams nonetheless. Here's the 0-2. Castellanos wouldn't bite.
And Kansas City Royals are attempting to do something here that they have not done against the Tigers since 2008. And that's sweep the Tigers in a 3-game series. Ned Yost, their manager, he's just chilling today.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Edinson Volquez. Just a reminder, as you enjoy cold one, to look forward to Miller Time at tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. 2 gone. Here's Marte. Walking a ground out for the Tiger first baseman. Strike on the outer edge. 95 on the outside black. Bouncing ball to third. That's a fair ball that flattens out on Moustakas. Nice play to get him by a step. Another 1-2-3 inning for Volquez. He's retired 13 straight. Coming up, the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Bottom of the 7th inning here in Kansas City, 4-2 in favor of the Royals. Tigers led early. KC answered with 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Daniel Norris had a 1-2-3 6th inning. He's back out there for the 7th. Ball 1 to Omar Infante. Drove in a run with a fly ball back in the 4th inning and made it a 4-2 game. It's ball 2 high. Drew Butera to follow, and then Alcides Escobar. 8-9-1 for Ned Yost. Fly ball in the air towards shallow left. Collins coming on. 1 out. Hey, calling all Oakland University alumni, students, and fans. Get a Tigers hat and OU colors and a ticket to see the Tigers take on the Indians September the 4th at 7:08 p.m. when you buy a special ticket package exclusively at tigers.com/special events. It's 5 in a row now set down by Norris. Here is Drew Butera. Struck out in the 4th inning.
Daniel still has a lot of life on his fastball. 94 pitches in that last heater, and they're right at 94 miles an hour. Another one.
Here's the 0-2. Pulled to the shortstop, just out of the reach of Iglesias.
Let's take a look at the big boy, big play of the game. Escobar, he hit a ball into the gap in left center field earlier in this game, and he got a triple out of it. But once the ball got into the hand of Iglesias, he fired to third. The ball appeared to trickle right off of the left foot of Escobar, trickling into the stands, and Escobar was rewarded home.
Brad Ausmus coming out and bringing the hook with him. He gives Norris a handshake. Wall side windows pitching change. Tigers go to the bullpen. Here comes Phillies. Hisashi Iwakuma threw the 5th no-hitter in Mariners franchise history. In his no-hitter today against the Orioles, home field advantage. We talked about this a little earlier. The home teams went 15-0 yesterday. First time in history. And Chris Davis, well, he's been pretty hot.
He sure has been. Have you seen that new mustache he's sporting?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he's got a lot of lip lettuce now. He got a lot of.
He did not just say,
yeah,
he did not just say lip lettuce.
He got a lot of. He got a lot of it. Wait till you see it.
Where did you come up with that term?
I heard it today.
Neftali Feliz will check in now for the Tigers. With 1 on, 1 out here in the 7th. And Feliz will face Escobar. Neftali came on in the 6th inning yesterday, struck out the only 2 batters he faced. Here is Alcides Escobar with a triple on his resume tonight, and an RBI. Four runs, 6 hits for KC. The Tigers 2 runs, 5 hits. Here's the 1-0. 2-0, the count on Escobar. Tigers can't afford to get behind by much more with the bullpen that the Royals possess, although Wade Davis has been bothered by a bad back recently. Threw in the bullpen today. Not sure if he is available tonight. Has not been available in the first 2 games in the series. Here's the 2-0. Lifted back out of play, 2-1.
And with the Royals having such a big lead in the American League Central, and Ned Yost can afford to rest Davis long enough until the back feels better. And anybody else that has an ailment for that matter.
Yeah, certainly the advantages of being up by 12 in your division as we approach late August. Now the 2-1. Fly ball right field. It's going to be routine for Martinez. Escobar is out. 2 away. Ben Zobrist 0 for 2 with a walk. Daniel Norris ended up throwing 96 pitches in this game. Needing some help here from Feliz in the 7th. Ball 1.
Daniel Norris had some good moments in this game. There was a stretch where he got wild in about a span of 6 batters. He walked 3 and he gave up a few runs on some balls right over the heart of the plate. But other than that, the fastball had good life on it at 95. He threw some good changeups and some good breaking balls. This Kansas City Royals team right now is just on fire.
The thing that sometimes we tend to forget, especially with young guys, that in Norris' case, he's only 22 years old.
And it looked like he was going to be out of this game in the 3rd inning. And Brendan Ryan was up and throwing, but he was able to last into the 7th. Got a chance to be a good pitcher. Kyle Ryan, excuse me.
Here's the 1-1. It's a little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, when you give up David Price and you've got your selection of prospects to pick from, and the selection was Daniel Norris, you know that there's a bright future ahead. Two and one on Zobrist. Popped up. Third base side, Castellanos. And that is that for the Royals here in the 7th inning. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
a chance to get to Volquez in the first and second inning, which they did. They pushed a run across the board in both of those frames. But after that, he has just really gotten it done. A mixture of mid-90s fastball. He's been up to 96. An unhittable changeup and an occasional curveball thrown by Edinson Volquez.
13 ground ball outs in this game. And he will answer the bell here in the 8th inning. 4-2 is our score, and the Royals have the lead. James McCann, Anthony Gose, Jose Iglesias facing the right-hander.
And Volquez pitch count and still in pretty good shape. He's only thrown 85 up until this point.
McCann, couple of ground balls, one of them resulting in a double play. Looks at strike one.
And Volquez, we mentioned, with 13 ground outs, he would have 15 of those had a play been made earlier in the game where they kind of messed up a double play ball. It's a lot of ground outs.
Here's another one, maybe. Oh, it's off the glove of Moustakas into left field. And the leadoff man on for the Tigers.
And Moustakas, if he could do it all over again, he probably would just let the shortstop make this play. And there's no doubt that Escobar would have been able to backhand that ball. And with his arm, he may have had a play at first base.
Royals have made a change out in the left. Paulo Orlando has taken over for Ben Zobrist. Here's Anthony Gose. Ball one to Gose. Volquez had retired 13 straight before that last ground ball, which has given the Tigers now 6 hits. Both teams have 6 hits. Two 2-0 the count on Gose. Kelvin Herrera now starting to warm up in the KC pen. Here's the 2-0. 3-0 on Gose. And Volquez now starting to head into the meat of the Tigers lineup as well. Iglesias on deck. Here's the 3-0. Walked it, ball 4. The first 2 men are on. Follow the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, and a whole lot more. MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablets. So meeting on the mound now. The Tigers in business here in the 8th with 2 on, nobody out.
I would think that Iglesias is bunting in this particular situation to get runners in the scoring position for Kinsler and possibly Victor Martinez, especially with all the ground ball outs that Volquez has already thrown in this contest. You would not want to hit into a double play.
Base on balls, the second of the game against Volquez. 3 sack bunts this year, 1 bunt hit for Jose. They're tied at the corners. No sign of bunt. Ball 1. Volquez now having trouble throwing strikes.
Again, he shows no sign of bunt. Strike one, 1-1 on Iglesias.
And Volquez has been able to throw that changeup over the plate pretty much whenever he's wanted to.
A single and 3 at bats for Iglesias.
Of the 93 total pitches Volquez has thrown today, 55% have been off-speed pitches.
Chopped slowly toward third. It's going to roll. It's going to stay fair, and the bases are loaded. Infield hit for Iglesias. Nobody out.
Iglesias gets quite a few infield singles, and once this ball dies on the grass before Moustakas is able to pick it up, there's no way they're going to get Iglesias.
So the Tigers have their 7th hit, the 2nd of the night for Iglesias. 22 infield hits.
Only Billy Burns and Jose Altuve, who the Tigers will see on Friday, have more. If you're Ian Kinsler, you know pretty much in this particular situation Volquez is going to give you a changeup or a breaking ball in the first couple of pitches.
Kinsler shoots it foul down the third base line. Kinsler at 55% and getting a runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Nobody out here. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to third. Fair ball down the line. 1 run scores. Here comes Ghost rounding third. He will score. Iglesias to third, and the Tigers have tied it up. A double for Ian Kinsler. It's a 4-4 game.
Ian Kinsler got a mid-90s fastball down and in and simply opened up the hips and turned on the ball. Moustakas dove for it, but not able to knock it down. And now the Tigers are in business. They've tied the score, and they have runners on second and third and nobody out.
Kinsler comes through with RBIs 51 and 52 on the year. That's going to be it for Volquez. He couldn't finish this one off. He had retired 13 straight before this inning. Another wall side windows pitching change.
Dominated against the Detroit Tigers. He needed 4 outs because one got away on a strikeout of J.D. Martinez. Then he went on to strike out the side after that.
So in a 4-4 ball game, the Tigers have runners at second and third. Here are the season numbers on Kelvin Herrera.
He's having a pretty good season. He's got 15 holes. The ERA sits at 2.15. The whip under 1. Hasn't walked that many this year, and he's punched down 44. And Kelvin's got a fastball that gets up to 100 miles an hour. His changeup's 90 miles an hour. He also has a slider. Well, he just changed his name midstream. It was Kelvin, wasn't it, with an M at the end?
No, it was Kelvin.
Kelvin.
Yeah.
Well, how they spell it? With an M, though, right?
No, with an M. You're thinking of Kelvin Escobar, the old Blue Jays pitcher. It's Kelvin Herrera. He just pronounced it Kelvin up until recently.
Now it's Kelvin.
Now it's just Kelvin.
Always spelled the same, though.
As far as I know. It's always been that way. So here's Victor Martinez, infield coming in now. And it's a pop-up in the shallow center field. Kane with a running play. Man, did he cover a lot of ground. 1 out.
And we talked about Lorenzo Cain at length and the fact that he's a really good defender in center field. He broke back initially on this fly ball off the bat of Victor Martinez. You can see him in center field. Takes 2 steps back, but then he recovers with those long galloping strides. And if you're Iglesias at third base, you did the right thing. You came halfway because you didn't have time to get back and tag up, or he would have thrown you out anyway.
So with 1 out, we remain tied at 4, second and third. That'll bring up J.D. Martinez. J.D. was 0 for 3 against Volquez, the starter. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Tigers now have 8 hits in this game, 6 for the Royals.
Against a guy like Herrera that has the upper 90s fastball, if you're Martinez or any of the other guys that are going up against him, you can't take big swings. You have to be really short, quick, and compact to the baseball. You allow Herrera to supply all the power. You cannot take a big swing and catch up to 100 miles an hour fastball.
Bouncing ball left side, under the glove of Escobar to left field. A run will score, maybe 2. Nope, they're going to hold Kinsler up, and the Tigers have retaken the lead. Escobar looked like he wanted to come home with it before he fielded it. And Iglesias comes in to break the tie.
Yeah, that's exactly what Escobar did. He went over to backhand it because he's going to try to get Iglesias at home plate and did not reach down far enough. Basically, he just stopped moving his feet, therefore couldn't make the play.
So now first and third. This has turned into a 3-run 8th for the Tigers.
Absolute must that Tyler Collins drive in Ian Kinsler from third base with 1 out, because this Kansas City Royals team, well, they still have 6 outs.
Ball 1.
And they've been scoring runs in bunches in the series.
Collins a double and 3 at bats. Tigers get their first runs since scoring 1 in the second. Bouncing ball to first base, and he's going to come home with it. The tag, he's safe. Good call. Kinsler beat the throw.
And Royals will take a look at it more than likely, or at least and make sure that Ian Kinsler did not get that foot in there ahead of the tag by Butera. It's a good slide by Ian Kinsler.
Clearly beat it. And so the Tigers now lead 6-4, 2 on, still only 1 out.
See, back in the old days, a catcher would have been able to drop that knee right in front of home plate without having the ball, and Ian Kinsler's right foot never would have made it to home plate.
Swing and a miss. Herrera had 101 on that fastball. Castellanos the batter. He's the 8th man to bat in the inning. 4-run 8th, and the Tigers still hitting here with only 1 out. That rides inside again, triple digits. Castellanos with an RBI single in 3 at-bats. He has fanned his last 2 times up. Inside again, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. That's into right field. That's going to drop. Base hit. They're going to stop the runner at third base. Castellanos fights one off into right for a single. So they're loaded up now. Still only 1 out in this inning.
It's a good hard fastball up and in, inside out swing by Castellanos. It didn't necessarily barrel it up, but got enough of it to hit it into the outfield in front of Rios, the right fielder.
So that'll bring up Marte. Tigers have them loaded here, and they now have an even 10 hits on the board. Romine coming in to run at first base. Young warming up, the right-hander now for Kansas City here, with Herrera facing a bases loaded situation. There's a fastball that rides in. 1-0 on Marte. One ball, one strike. Tigers had a tad of good fortune in this inning. The single by McCann to start the frame was off the glove of the third baseman Moustakas. Then they had the infield hit for Iglesias. They'll take it. Inside again. So Herrera throwing hard, but he's missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kelvin last year, or Kelvin, appeared in 70 games. ERA of 1.41. This year, another solid season. At the back end of the Royals' pen. Two and two. Not a whole lot of mystery here from Kelvin Herrera. Fastballs upper 90s into the 100 range. Struck him out, tipped it into the glove for strike 3, and there are 2 gone.
Herrera just threw fastball after fastball right by Marte.
He's got 1 more out to get, and James McCann strolls in. And McCann looks at ball 1 as Butera bluffs a throw down to third. RBIs in the inning. Kinsler has 2. JD Martinez has 1. Collins has 1. Tigers turn a 2-run deficit into a 2-run lead with a 4-run 8th. Fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Edinson Volquez had retired 13 straight coming into this 8th inning. He had the Tigers on the ropes, but he gave up that leadoff single to McCann. Then he walked Ghosts on 4 pitches. And after Iglesias reached, Ned Yost decided to allow Volquez to pitch to Kinsler, and he doubled. Fouled away again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 101. Martinez at third, Collins at second, and Romine at first. Here's the 1-2. Spoiled one. So Herrera's about to throw his 19th pitch now. What's going on here?
I guess somebody got hit in the stands on that last foul ball. Joe West walked into the mound to stop play momentarily.
One ball, 2 strikes. Herrera trying to strand 3 here and keep this manageable for the Royals late. We're in the 8th inning. 6-4 Tigers. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. However, big inning for the Tigers. They jump back into the lead in this ball game. Ian Kinsler doubles in a pair. That tied it at 4. Martinez gave the Tigers the lead, and Collins added an insurance run. 6-4 Detroit. With 4 in the 8th, and they now have a 6-4 lead. They will have a couple of defensive changes here as we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Tigers now will have Romine taking over at third base. Alex Avila will spell Marte at first. And in the meantime, Phillies goes back to work. He got the final 2 outs in the 7th. And he'll face the middle of the lineup for the Royals, Kane, Hosmer, Morales. Two-run game. First pitch in for a strike as Kane watches it go by. Didn't like the call. Another big night for Kane. Double, single, steal, run scored. 8 hits in this 3-game series against the Tigers for Kane. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was the grand total of hits for the Tigers as a team in the first 2 games. 8.
Yeah, the Tigers have 10 hits in this game. Surpassing their total from the first 2. Strike called. The count is 1-2 now on Kane. Kane came in 5th in the American League in hitting. Slicing that one foul, back out of play. Lorenzo last night was a triple shy of the cycle. But we did end up with 4 hits, 2 singles, double, and a homer. Kane steps out as Phillies takes too long. Royals got 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Tigers have held them off the board since. And missed inside, 2-2. Norris threw 96 pitches before departing in the 7th inning. There's more action in the Tigers' pen. Hardy, the lefty. Alex Wilson is throwing. He's the right-hander. Wilson was available if needed last night, but he wasn't. Here's the 2-2. Fouled away. So the 8th inning for the Tigers bullpen has become the important one now because of who they're facing. 3, 4, and 5. And Phillies trying to navigate his way through with a 2-run lead. Another foul back to the screen. Royals came in with a 5-game winning streak in this one. Tigers trying to snap it. They lead by 2 in the 8th. Ooh, he just missed, and the count fills now 3-2. Just off the plate.
He has thrown Lorenzo Kane everywhere, up, down, in, out. That's what you have to do when a guy's standing in the batter's box that's been on fire. 8 hits in the series already for Kane.
He spoils that one down the first base line. This will be the 10th pitch coming up in this at bat. He's making Phillies work. Hosmer on deck, and then Kenrys Morales. again, the 3-2 coming home. Grounded slowly toward third. That is going to be a foul ball. Kane took his bat all the way with him down the line at first.
It didn't slow him down either, carrying that bat. He was still flying.
3-2. Tigers have an off day tomorrow, but it's on to Houston. They'll start a 3-game weekend set against the Astros. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Dallas Keuchel will be waiting for the Tigers on Friday night.
Ground ball back up the middle, Iglesias. And Kane is out, one gone.
Here is the 1-800-CALL-SAM call of the game. The Tigers in the first 2 games of the series had a combined 8 hits. Well, they've got 10 here already tonight, and they came out today, swinging the bats early against Volquez. They got quite a few hits early, and then they were able to knock him out of the game in the 8th inning. They kind of matched the intensity and the energy in this game that the Kansas City Royals had been displaying in games 1 and 2.
So Phillies will depart after getting all 3 batters he faced. He'll give up the baseball now. Blaine Hardy will come in to face Eric Hosmer. We'll be back. Hardy has come out of the bullpen now. He will face Eric Hosmer with the bases empty and gets him to tap it right back to the mound. Hosmer on 1 pitch is retired, and there are 2 gone.
That is beautiful.
Here is Kendrys Morales with 2 outs. He'll play the shift out against Morales, who in this game is 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls and a ground out. Ball 1 inside. Fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on Morales. Tiger bullpen trying to protect a 2-run lead. Feliz got 2 outs in the 7th, then an out here in the 8th. Hardy has also got an out. 2-1.
Where would this bullpen be without Hardy this year? Man, has he been good out there.
Pitched in a lot of ball games. Here's a swing and a miss. Not only that, but he's been really as consistent as anybody all year.
And Brad has used him in a variety of different roles, as he did last year. Hardy did not make the team out of spring training, but was called up on basically opening day when Joe Nathan went down with an injury.
3-2 now on Kendrys Morales.
They call him the Iceman. They say that no situation rattles Blaine Hardy.
Well, should he lose Morales, he's got another lefty waiting on deck, Moustakas. Here's the 3-2. Instead, it's a ground ball left side of the infield. Kinsler will fire on at first for the out. 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers bullpen here in the 8th. Try and hold on to this one and get at least one win in this series. A new right-hander is on now for KC. It's Chris Young.
And Chris Young, not a hard thrower. Fastball tops out at about 87 miles an hour, but the league hitting only 236 against those fastballs, those four-seamers. Also lots of change-up sliders thrown by Chris Young.
So Young will go to work here against the top of the Tigers lineup. It'll go Iglesias and Kinsler. They were all very important in the big 4-run 8th for the Tigers. Here's a popped up bunt right to Hosmer, 1 out.
Looks like Gose has made a conscious effort to attempt to bunt at least once a game. He already squared the bunt earlier in the game, too.
Iglesias, an infield hit, really turned out to be a big play. There were 2 on, nobody out. And Brad decided not to bunt in that situation, down by a couple of runs. Instead, they let Iglesias hit away, and he had himself an infield hit. Which really fueled the rally. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
That 8th inning started with Moustakas diving for that one ball that looked like the shortstop would have made the play on, and that ball trickled into the outfield. And that kind of got the Tigers going against Volquez in the 8th.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
It's a pretty good slider there thrown from Chris Young, and which presents problems for you. I mean, not many guys 6 feet 10 inches playing in the major leagues that throw right-handed. So basically you're seeing the ball come from an arm slot that you just don't see every day.
Will pop up first base side. Hosmer will handle this one, and there are 2 gone. Jesus Rondon heating up in the Detroit bullpen. Ian Kinsler will stand in.
Does that mean that Wilson might not be good to go?
Well, he was warming up.
Yeah, he was.
And Brad said before the game today he could have used him last night, although the extra day was good for him. But Rondon, for as well as he's pitched, is heating up now. And of course, he got the lefty Moustakas leading it off. I wonder if Hardy pitches to one batter. Here's the 0-1. Drilled to center field. That's a base hit.
Stay hot, Ian.
His second hit tonight.
Another multi-hit game for Kinsler. It's 45 of them now. It's a hanging slider thrown by Chris Young.
The 11th Tigers hit in this game. Here's Victor Martinez. Victor knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Tigers raced out to a 2-0 lead, but saw it disappear quickly. In there, strike call. Young has been used out of the rotation, or out of the bullpen, I should say, and in the rotation. Missed it outside. Young has made a pair of starts against the Tigers. It's back in May. Allowed just one earned run in 11 innings.
He's always pitched pretty good baseball against Detroit. When he was wearing Seattle's uniform the year before, he pitched and pretty well against Detroit.
Twelve strikeouts in the 11 innings as well that he pitched against the Tigers earlier.
Yeah, and his fastball tops out at about 87 miles an hour.
Martinez waiting on a 1-1. 6-4 Tigers here in the ninth. And he missed outside. 2-1 on Martinez. Here's the 2-1 fastball. Runner goes. Drilled down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Up against the wall. This will get another run in. Martinez on his way to second, and he will score. It's a double and an RBI. A 2-out run for the Tigers makes it 7-4 Detroit.
Second RBI of the game for Victor Martinez. That was a fastball that was up and away, and it looked like they were trying to get it away from Victor, but Victor was able to reach out and make some contact with Kinsler on the move, which meant it was going to be very easy for Ian Kinsler to score.
So Martinez gets his second RBI of the night. The Tigers get a huge run here in the ninth inning. And J.D. Martinez looks at ball one. Single RBI for J.D. back in the eighth. 1 ball, 1 strike on Martinez. Young replaced Herrera, who pitched in the 8th. 2-1 now. Royals in the bottom of the 9th inning have Moustakas, Rios, and Infante, but the deficit has gotten bigger. Tapped right back to the mound. Young will handle this one, and that'll end the inning. However, the Tigers get a big run. We go to the bottom of the 9th.
A little luck on their side. That ball 1 foot off the McCann's bat, trickled off the glove of Moustakas. Infield single as well for Iglesias. And then it appeared that Escobar, the shortstop, was trying to make a play at home, and that ball got through the infield. Tigers went on to score 4 runs in the 8th inning.
Well, 3 more outs to get, and the Tigers will leave town with the victory as Bruce Rondon steps in now and takes his turn on the hill.
Rondon has 1 save this year, 2 total in his major league career. He's been throwing the ball very well in his last 3 or 4 outings. Fastball has been crisp. He's gotten up to 97, 98, on occasion 100 miles an hour. But his secondary pitches have also been good. That would be the changeup and also the slider.
So Rondon is going to face Mike Moustakas to lead things off.
And Brett Ausmus made the comment a couple of days ago before the road trip that Rondon just looks like a different guy on the mound. Different look in his eyes.
Well, important times for Rondon to try and establish himself as a guy that can close in the future.
You know, one of the things that might benefit Rondon this year is pitching in winter ball. You know, last year he could not pitch in winter ball because of the injuries. As a matter of fact, the last couple of years he couldn't pitch in winter ball. So it might not be a bad idea to give Rondon a few innings in winter ball, because he also missed some time this year with, you know, being injured.
Fagan had his mask knocked off the home plate umpire. Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Rondon certainly possesses the physical skill to be the Tigers closer in the future. He just needs to show that he can do it consistently and just get it done, to be honest.
Yeah, all the physical attributes are there.
Bruce trying to nail this one down.
He's a big boy, too, isn't he?
That he is.
Big boned.
Well, Moustakas dig back in. I'm not sure what we have going on here, but okay.
All right, button his shirt up now.
Well, there's the Moose on the right, but what's going on the left? That the park ranger? Ball high. 2-1. Yeah. Yeah, see, the shirt's got to be buttoned up there. It's a rally cap. Moustakas steps out. Coming into the 8th inning, since the start of 2014, they were 123-1 with the lead. Slow roller. Rondon, his throw is in time. What a play by Bruce. Nicely done. One gone.
The key to this play for the pitcher is make sure when you get there is you got to make the play first. Watch the ball into the hand, which he did, and then he threw flat-footed because he really had no time to really adjust the feet and take a crow hop to try to get the out at first base. It's a nice play by Bruce.
One of those plays that if you don't make it can start a rally, and the Tigers with one gone down here in the ninth.
He threw this ball flat-footed, but accurately. So what did that last note say? 123-1?
Yeah, going into the 8th inning with a lead, which is what the Royals did here tonight. But the Tigers scored 4 in the 8th. So they'd only blown one save from 2014, the start of last year.
Well, usually Wade Davis is the guy that gets the ball in the 8th inning, so he's responsible for a lot of that success that they had in the 8th inning. Not all of it, but a lot of it Wade Davis responsible for, and Holland.
2-0 on Rios. Swing and a miss.
100 miles an hour fastball thrown by Bruce.
The Royals were also 51-0 this season when leading after 7. And that's in jeopardy tonight. With 99.
Nowhere for Rios to go. Got him in a good spot though, right on the backside. If you're gonna get hit, I mean, I guess you want to get hit right there.
Royals have gotten hit a lot this year. One on, one out. Going to bring up Infante. RBI tonight for Infante, courtesy of a sacrifice fly, and he looks at ball 1. Tigers pitching tonight has allowed just 6 hits, and their offense has provided 12 hits. Good pitch in there for a strike. Ready with the 1-1. Give him another breaking ball, but he missed inside, and the count goes 2-1. Number 9 hitter Drew Butera waiting on deck. Way inside, 3-1 on Infante. bench have Perez, Salvi Perez, and Gerard Dyson. Paulo Orlando has entered the game, so only 2 guys left on their bench. Here's the 3-1. Inside, ball 4. That's going to put 2 men on now for the Royals. And Jeff Jones now is going to walk out to have a conversation, which brings us to the upcoming matchup. Presented by Gordon Chevrolet. Off day tomorrow, but then the Tigers, well, they're going to face Dallas Keuchel coming up on Friday night. And Dallas Keuchel, he's in the Cy Young conversation in the American League this year. 13-6. He started the All-Star game in Cincinnati with a 2.40 ERA, 143 strikeouts, 39 base on balls. Alfredo Simon's going to have to be on point on Friday if he's going to put his team in a situation to win the game with Keuchel on the bump for Houston. So Rondon trying to get it back now. He's thrown 4 strikes and 9 balls. Well, since he hit Rios in the back, he had not been able to find the strike zone. Here is the number 9 hitter, Drew Butera. And you don't want to see guys like Kane and Hosmer in this game again. No. Butera swings right through it, 100 miles an hour. And apparently Perez is not good to go here today, or he probably would be using him here against Butera, or at least Dyson. It's kind of surprising that Butera is hitting here. Yeah, because a home run would tie the score, and of course Perez has 16 homers. Swing and a miss again. Another 100-mile-an-hour fastball. It's if Bruce is saying, all right, here you go. Yep, here it is. Hit it. Wilson warming up in case he's needed. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with 3 heaters at triple digits. Butera had no chance there. None. 0 chance. Every fastball up and in, all 3 at 100 miles an hour. So here is Alcides Escobar. He is the last chance for the Royals. RBI tripled in the 3rd. In there for a strike, 0-1. I don't know what the message was by the pitching coach, Jeff Jones, but whatever it was, Bruce heard it. And if he's going to get beat, they're going to have to hit his 100-mile-an-hour fastball, apparently, because he's pumping in one after another. And you wonder if McCann noticed that Rios out at second base may have been trying to tip location or signs to and the base runner. How about that look, though, McCann just gave Rios? Did you see that? Yeah, I did, and I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, he went out there to tell him that, and he looked at him again. Before he walked off. This kid's starting to show some leadership skills. He went out there and then purposely wiped off his feet, and he was staring at Rios as to, and you're going to get somebody hurt around him. This guy throws 100 miles an hour. And 1 the count on Escobar. When's the last time you saw a pitcher walk to the mound and then walk past the pitcher? Look at this. He walked right past him staring at Rios. Right there. Just to let him know. I love it. Don't mess around. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball in the air to right field. On the move, Martinez, and the Tigers will win this one here tonight. In the ninth inning, no runs, hit batter, a walk, 2 men left. The Tigers salvage 1. They win the finale in this series. 7-4 the final score as Bruce Rondon gets the final 3 outs in the ninth. We'll be back.